All right, we're crossing the border. My heart dropped when she said for a minute we weren't going to be able to get through.
Are we there yet?
All right, it is border crossing day. Day 7 of our trip down to Mexico. And we are leaving Texas and going to drive down across the border. So wish us luck. It's probably going to be a very boring and uneventful process, but it is what it is. All right, we'll keep you posted. Right, Ellie? Alright, they've inspected our car, and now we gotta go get our vehicle permit. It's not gonna be very exciting. Okay, that was a huge hassle. I just want to record what happened so I remember it right. So we thought we had filled out like all the papers and stuff online ahead of time so that this would be a really quick and easy process and everything would go smooth. Well, that was not the case. So this is future John here. Since recording that video of crossing the border the first time, we've learned a lot of things about what went wrong and what we should have done that first time. We were really naive, honestly, that first border crossing. But since then, we've crossed the Mexican border multiple times. In fact, just last week, we came back from Guatemala, and so we had to do this whole process again. And so we understand really well now what it is that you actually need coming into Mexico, what you don't need, what you need to drive your car into Mexico, and what you need to stay for an extended period of time. So we wanted to let you in on that insider information. All right, let's do that.
First off, let's clarify exactly what you need to legally be in Mexico for an extended period of time. You're going to need a visa. It's called a Forma Migratoria Multiple. You're going to need your passport. If you're driving your car, you're going to need a TIP, or Temporary Vehicle Importation Permit. And if you have a car, you'll also need Mexican car insurance. Permits and visas can be obtained online, but there are some gotchas. We originally purchased our visas online, which is very convenient because you can fill out all the info at your leisure and you can pay for them with a credit card. You'll print your visas out and take them to the border immigration office to be stamped. Be aware, however, that you also need to print out receipts for the payment of these visas, and you need to carry them with you. We made the mistake not doing this, and when we went to leave the country, they demanded proof that we had paid for the visas. We didn't have it. We hadn't printed the receipts. So long story short, we ended up having to print off a page of our credit card statement to prove the payment. It was a huge hassle, huge pain. You can also get your visa at the border. Just know that the process will take a little bit longer. Also, FYI, the online visa looks a little different than the one you obtain in person. When you get to the border, there are 3 key players in your border crossing experience. You have the immigration office, which processes your visas, the Banjército office, where you pay for your visa and TIP if you didn't do it online, and the aduana. They're the ones that check your car, they question you about where you're going. They're kind of like the border patrol. Sometimes these offices are right at the border, and other times they're in an adjoining town. Checking where the offices are ahead of time will save you a lot of headaches. It's also important to look up the times when they are open for the border you're going to cross. Larger border crossings are often open 24 hours, but smaller ones may close at 4 or 5. If you're bringing a car into Mexico, you will need to get a TIP. The process is pretty straightforward. You can do the process online, but once again, there are a couple potential gotchas. When we first tried to do our TIP online, for some reason the website would not issue us the permit, but it didn't give us any indication of why.
We got the car permit all almost ready to be done,
And all of a sudden she's like, oh, I see why they didn't issue it online, because Sarah had filled this thing out online, but it hadn't issued us the permit. And she's like, now I know why they didn't issue it online. It says here that your car has frame damage from a Carfax report in the US. And she's like, you can't drive a car into Mexico that has that damage. So you need to have the aduana go look at it, and they need to verify it. You're probably gonna have to go all the way over to Laredo and have them check it. And if they don't check it, sorry, you can't drive this car into Mexico. And we're just like, oh my gosh, this is the worst ever. Here it is. There's our permit right there. So we're official, and now we are driving into Mexico. We're going to Monterrey. Have arrived at our Airbnb in Monterrey. My wonderful wife Sarah navigated the traffic like an expert, and there are some crazy roads here. But let me show you around our Airbnb. Carport. Staying in Monterrey for a few days, visiting one of my good friends that I knew when I served a mission in Mexico. So it should be fun. And then we will continue on our way down through the interior of Mexico. All right, see you later. All right, well, it is day 8 of our Mexico excursion, and the day's already been eventful. Got up this morning. Today's just a normal day for us. We're staying here in Monterrey. Gonna go visit my friend tonight. Yeah, so we were just hanging out. I started working on my computer, and went to get some lunch, and I started heating up some water on the stove, and then disaster struck. This thing had a glass top over it, so I turned on the stove and it exploded everywhere. Apparently you're supposed to lift that up, which I did not do, and yeah. So, as you can see, exploded the stove. That's not very fun. But it is what it is. We talked with the owners, and we're gonna get it fixed, and we'll be good and on our way. I won't bore you with the work that I'm doing right now. We'll pick up later today when things get a little more interesting. All right, see you later. All right, we're headed to Parque Fundidora tonight to meet my friend Oswaldo. Let's see how we do driving in Mexico.
Where are we going from Are we there yet?